How you doing? My name's Gordon, and I just want to let everybody know how much we appreciate the food banks here in Colorado. I'm a disabled veteran, and if it wasn't for the food banks, I'd probably go hungry most of the time. And I know a lot of people that come here every month, and I'm sure they're all very appreciative. And we just give thousands of thanks to all the volunteers here and hope that they can keep going and people see this, that they'll make donations and help out the food banks here in Arvada and Wheat Ridge and Denver and the surrounding areas. All I can tell you is we really do appreciate it, and we thank you very much.
Cool. Can you tell me, you have a home and everything, Gordon?
I'm renting, actually I'm sharing the rent with my son. He has a home over here in Wheat Ridge, and I'm in the process of buying a trailer because that's how hard it's gotten for us. We're going to be living in a trailer here probably within a couple of months. But that's better than sleeping outside. We've done that, had to live in a lean-to and lived in a tent for a whole summer out there at Chatfield State Park. And it's just, sometimes it gets rough and sometimes you get way down. But if you just keep your hopes up and keep your guns going, you get back on top.
That sounds good. Wow.
Last thing I need to do is get struck by
amazing.
lightning. But yeah, it's like everything else. You can get way down, but if you just believe in yourself and believe in others, you'll come back. You always do. It's just a matter of choice whether you want to stay down or not.
Right.
So I'm very appreciative that I've had the opportunity to get back on my feet.
Cool. So is your wife working right now?
No, my wife's disabled too.
Wow. So how long has this been going on for you?
Oh, probably in the neighborhood of about 8 years now.
8 years? Why has it been that long? What happened 8 years ago?
Well, I had to fight the government to get my disability. It took me 2.5 years to deal with them, and they tried to tell me I wasn't disabled, and I broke my back and my neck. I've got this degenerative arthritis in my neck and in my back. I got bulging disc and all that, so I really can't work. I got full stomach hernia, but you all don't need to hear about all my woes and stuff. You just want to know about how to be able to make it. Anybody can make it, it's just a matter if you put your mind to it.
Right. That's a long time to be dealing with this. Is there hope on the horizon?
Well, I told you we're going to buy our trailer. That's our hope. It's just me and Mama now, and my son's grown up, and he's got a wife and family, and thank God he has a job where he can support them. And he's doing his bit to help support us right now.
Right.
But we don't want to become a burden, because that's the last thing, we raise our children to make it on their own. And I don't want to be a burden to my children. So my wife and I will do whatever we got to do to make ends meet. We're happy. As long as we got each other, we'll be fine.
Right. So have you gone to many food banks around Colorado?
I've hit every single one of them.
You have?
All at one time or another. I kind of work it out where I go to one for 6 months and I go to the other one for 6 months, and then there's a couple of small ones I go in between to make up the difference.
Right.
I mean, it's a hard thing, but we're not going hungry. We may be eating beans and rice, but it's better than digging through the garbage cans. And we've done that, we've gone to like Burger King and McDonald's and wait for them to close, and when they bring that bag out of hamburgers and stuff they're going to throw away that have been sitting there for a couple hours, we're there to scarf them up so we can have something to eat.
Right.
Yeah, we've been real down and out. We were at a point where we just had a backpack and clothes on our back.
Wow.
But through hard work and volunteering to do stuff for people, and they see that you're trying, they'll go out of their way to help you out.
Right. Right.
It's a personal endeavor of your own. You got to be willing to put your foot forth to make it better.
Right.
If you don't want to do that, then I guess you wallow in whatever it is you design.
Exactly.
So you get out there and you struggle. It's a little hard, but everybody can do it. I have faith that anybody that wants to can do it. It's just a matter of getting on top. And once you get on top, try and stay there. And if you fall down, it's not a big deal. You pick yourself back up and you keep going on.
Right.
It's all in your brain. It's all in the mind. You can't let the hard times get you down, because most of the hard times you create yourself.
Exactly.
So,
and they tend to attract more.
That's right. So if you get away from the hard times, then things start to get better.
Exactly.
And I mean, they're not roses. I'm not a millionaire. I'm never going to be unless I get lucky and hit the lottery or something.
Right.
But in between time, each day that I wake up and I'm breathing, I'm thankful. So
that's really cool. So I love this food bank. I love how they set it up like a grocery store.
Right.
It lends a lot of dignity, don't
Oh,
you
it
think?
helps out a lot. I remember when they had the old food bank, you'd go in, they'd give you a box,
Uh-huh.
and you just had to take whatever they gave you.
Right.
And we were here the first day they opened it up, and we were on the news and all that other good stuff, but I come here all the time because I love dealing with these elderly people.
They're
I
really
think it's
cool.
great to give them a chance to volunteer, like the young lady that's sitting at the door.
Yeah, Marianne.
87 years old. She volunteers one day a week, and she comes out here to do it.
Yeah.
Isn't that great? She
Yeah.
gets out
They
of her
have
house.
240 volunteers here.
Yeah, they come here because they can get out and they can socialize. And
Yeah.
so to me, that's just a great thing for the elderly folk.
I think it's pretty
and
cool.
I'm hoping when I get that old that I can find some place to volunteer.
I think it's really cool how they have that list too, and everybody that comes into this food bank has a guide through the store.
That's right.
You know, and they help you so you know how many points
they tell
are
you
on
how many
each can of
points and
food.
everything. Yeah.
I think it's really cool. They have personal items too. Like a lot of food banks you go to, they don't have toothpaste and all the things that you need. Like this is a splendid food bank.
Oh, this is a beautiful place. When they opened this up, it was God sent. That's all I can say. Tell you
Yeah.
the truth. I mean, it's just. I'm sure I would have went hungry, or my wife and I would have went hungry for weeks on end if it wasn't for food banks like this.
Talk to me about like the big thing I notice here that we don't have. I live about 20 miles from Aspen. We only get 4 boxes of food a year.
Right.
And we don't get fresh vegetables. We do now because I'll tell you that story later. As of 2 weeks ago, we do.
Right.
But so many food banks don't get fresh vegetables. Have you had that experience?
You know, to tell you the truth, I've been really lucky as far as that goes because I have friends that live up in Greeley, and that's like a major farm place. And I'll go up there and I'll help them pick vegetables.
Right.
I'll help pick squash and potatoes and corn and stuff like that. And usually the people you work for to help, they'll pay you like $50, 50 cents a bushel.
Right.
And you work all day. And it's hard work, but
Right.
you know, you work for a living. It's the way I look at it.
Right.
And you end up going home with a bushel of vegetables and a pocket full of money.
That's cool.
And that's the way it
That's
should be.
cool. Yeah, that's cool. I was wondering when you were talking to me about the food banks that you've been to around Colorado, did most of those food banks have vegetables in the food banks?
Well, some of
just
them
canned?
do. Most of them have the can.
Yeah.
But once in a while, you'll find that they'll have a box that they set out, and you can get like 8, 10 potatoes, or a little bag of carrots, or
Right.
some onions, and you know, just stuff that spice up the food. Because tell you what, fried potatoes with some onions and a little bit of carrot in there, and maybe a little salt and pepper. That's a meal.
Yeah.
And it'll fill your belly.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. You want to go to bed at night with a full belly.
Exactly. And having fresh vegetables is really important for nutrition.
Yes, it sure
And
is.
it helps keep the fat away.
Well, I can't say that, but I'm healthy. That's all that really matters, right?
I had 3 months this year that I ate a cup of rice for 20 of 30 days for 3 months. And I
Right.
gained like 26 pounds during that time.
Well,
Because I didn't have vegetables it was just all laying sedentary.
well, you know, they
So.
get all these vegetables given to them
Yeah,
by the farmers around here.
right,
And some of them, you know, they may not be super ripe,
right.
or some may be a little overripe, like tomatoes, you know, that they
Did
get a
you
little
see all those
soft.
cases of tomatoes?
Yeah, well, even though the tomatoes are soft,
Yeah,
you can take them home, throw them in a blender, and make salsa out of them.
exactly.
You can squeeze them, make tomato juice.
Uh-huh.
And the
Spaghetti
ones-
sauce.
And the stuff that ain't ripe, sit it in your windowsill, give it
Yeah.
a couple of days, and you'll be able to cook it up
Yeah,
and eat it. So
yeah.
we take everything we can get. We never complain.
Yeah.
Anything that we can carry out of here, we carry.
That's really cool. So is there anything else you'd like to tell America about getting on, feeding the hungry, and paying attention? Do you
Sure,
see
I
more-
have something I want to tell America.
Okay.
Tell Obama to quit cutting our Social Security. We've gone 2 years without a Social Security raise of living cost because he wants to give all the banks and all these foreign countries our money. What the hell happened to the people that live right here in America? Why shouldn't we watch out for ourselves? You know, we got thousands of people in this country that are homeless, children, mothers, elderly folks.
49 million.
Right, 49 million. That's a lot of people. And the United States is the most powerful, richest country in the world. I don't understand why we have that situation here.